Hey writers, happy Sunday. Joel Quinlan here again. I just thought I'd share with you how I study up on my characters essentially and how I get to know them so that as I'm writing about them in my stories, it makes it easier to tell the story. Because once you know the character, you kind of know what their reactions will be, how they normally go about doing things, especially if you have a villain. You know, they tend to have trauma from way back that makes them the person that they are now, and they have like good reasons for being a villain, kind of like the Joker, if you ever saw that movie. So behind me here, I'm standing on my board today. I like having this with me while I'm writing. It's super cool. It's a whiteboard that it's an eraser board, but it also has a magnetic function, so I put magnets. So one of the first things I like to do is find a picture from a magazine. This is just straight up ripped out of magazines and catalogs somewhere. So I'll find a picture that looks like someone in my story. I've got a redhead here, and if it's small enough, I'll tape it, and then I'll basically write like a profile of the person here. Just one page. That's pretty much worked for me all this time, and I will put their name at the top, first name, last name. If there's any variation from the picture, I'll put a note, because sometimes I'll find the right picture, but like the eye color is wrong or something like that. Or if they have a scar or a tattoo, you want to note that as well on your page. So the profile is just a description. The heading behind here actually comes from this book that I talked about I use when I was picking my author's pseudonym. It's called The Secret Universe of Names, and it is by Roy Feinson. And I love this book because it's super cool, because it talks about the meanings of sounds and letters and how those things can affect our mood and our facial expressions when we're talking. And also, you know, there can be a big difference if you go through life with I don't want to say a good name versus a bad name. Let's just say like a more resonant name, if you will. I can't find a good term for it, versus like if someone your whole life called you a bad word as your name, right? That would have an effect on you mentally. But it's also kind of the reason why, I suppose, why actors choose stage names, or authors choose pen names, or even you know, there's different reasons why names change. But I love it because the whole beginning part of this book, it talks about the meanings of the different letters and the different sounds. And there's one super cool page in here, and I won't get into that. You can read the book yourself if you get it, but this is a great book. And on page, at the beginning, as he's going into the philosophy, he talks about most likely to succeed and least likely to succeed letters. So most likely to succeed in sports, like A, B, D, E. And then that's just the first four letters. There's more. The least likely to succeed in sports, we have F, G, H, L. So it's interesting, but he has it by sports, money, arts, medical, and politics. So that was just fascinating. And then as you start looking up the names of like your own name maybe, or people you know, it's super fun to read it, because each section is broken up by the letter of the alphabet, like E, talks about E, and sort of the meaning of E on this in here gives popular girls' names, popular boys' names, and then it goes, if you go into like the first name, it's basically one page, and it gives a description of how this person will be, sort of a profile, if you will, which is how this is just one of many books I use, but it's a great book. And it's really funny to me because I'll generally end up, as I'm thinking of a story, I think of the name first for some reason, but then when I come in here and I look up the name, it's actually what I thought that person would be like, but then it like gives me more details. So I don't know, the universe works in really strange ways. But so at the top of each page, like in the middle, it'll give representative names. This page is ED, Ed, and the headline here is the realistic. And then it gives 3 keywords for when they're operating in their strengths, and then 3 keywords when they're operating in their weaknesses, I guess you could say. And the little top bar chart here is charisma, career success, love and friendship, and power. But I love, and then the bottom's a famous example of a person. So I love this book. I mean, this is just a great book to help you get to know your characters better. There's many other ones that I use, which I'll do in a different video because this video is getting long enough. But I hope that helps you. Having a profile sheet and a representative picture for all your characters will help you keep things straight on who's who, and then you don't have to commit to memory like, oh my gosh, well, who has blue eyes or whatever, and who did I give red hair to, and what else key things that I need to know. Like as far as I'm writing about a genie, I'm like, well, how old is she, how long was she in the bottle, so to speak, and you know, where are we now? Like, so, you know, how long do genies live? So just little things like that you'll forget. I forget numbers all the time. I'm just notorious at that. So anyway, I hope that one tip is helpful. I will link this in the bottom in the notes, and I hope you guys have a great week moving forward. Okay, bye.